All right, guys, welcome. We're going to do a bit of live trading here together, getting a little bit of a late start today. Had a Christmas party at my daughter's preschool. That was a lot of fun. So it's 11 a.m. Eastern time right now exactly. So far, the market is doing what we thought it would do in the pre-market forecast. We're pushing higher. And now I think we might be due for a little bit of a pullback here. What we've got shaking. And we can see here on the daily chart that we are pretty bullish today. So even though we've got a little bit of a pullback setting up right here, right now, the smart thing is not to go short, even though there will probably be a reaction. Instead, I'm going to wait and look to pick off a good spot to go long. Just waiting for the best setups, trying to trade in line with what the daily is doing at that exact time, right? So if the daily and the weekly are bullish, I want to be looking for longs, right? If I'm not sure, I don't want to be trading. And if it's bearish, I want to be looking for shorts, right? So this is the best way to trade. It's really important. I'm testing out. I passed one funding company last week. Just wanted to test them out. I didn't take the account because I'm not interested. I'd rather trade my own money. But I'm testing another one now because I want to see the fills. The fills that I got last week, there were some, pretty sketchy things going on. I'm just testing another company here. I'm not going to name the companies because that's not, the purpose of why I'm doing this. I'm testing it for my own reasons. But let's go ahead and at least do some live trading here together. On the balance on this particular challenge is 50,000. I have not placed a single trade yet. Today's the first day of it, so just going to look to try and wait for really good setups like I would on my own account. And I want to see what these fills are like. It'll be interesting because before the challenge that I did with the other company, I used Quant Trader. I don't know if it was an issue with Rithmic, sending data to the Quant Trader, just like Rithmic will send data to NinjaTrader. So now I'm going to try with this particular company. I'm going to try to place trades directly from the Rithmic DOM, which you can see open in front of us right now. And we'll just see, I'm curious to see how those fills go and everything. So we will give it our best shot. We're trading NQ on one contract. And the goal really is to wait for the best setups and then add to our winners when it starts going our direction. That really is the key. That's what we're going to do. All right. So, yeah, I'm not going to say any more right now. We're just waiting for a pullback. Yeah, we've gotten a little pullback here so far, but nothing I'm interested in yet. I'd be more interested in, a sizable pullback, back down into the 16,350 area maybe. You say, oh my goodness, well, if we're going to 16,350, why don't you go short here at 16,4? Well, because the energy is clearly to the upside right now. And even though we might drop, and I know where I'm looking to get long, I'm really not interested in shorting right now. On certain days, you can play both sides. Today is very clearly, we're trending up here on the intraday charts for the NASDAQ. And the forecast for the week and the day is that we're going to push, higher to start the week. We're on Monday, and that is indeed happening. So I think there's going to be continued support as this market grinds higher, on the back of trap shorts, basically. So just going to take it nice and easy and not force the issue. Right now, we can see the average pullbacks. I've got my other screens over here. I'm looking at the average pullbacks so far. Remember, I'm getting a late start here. Look to be about 30 points from the high, roughly. So, if you look at, this high here, 30 points would be down around here. So, that's probably going to be the general area we're looking at. Maybe 16,350 is probably asking a bit much, but maybe 16,370, somewhere down there. So I'm going to pause it. This is live, and I don't want to waste your time sitting here watching this while I'm, waiting for the setup to happen. But when the setup happens, I'm going to go ahead and click the recorder, and you guys get to watch how I entered the trade, how I managed the trade, all that fun stuff. Let's do it. And while we're waiting, you can see we're getting kind of down close to where we might be looking to get long. So while we're waiting, we'll take a quick look at the scoreboard. You can see Bitcoin is getting hammered as I suggested it would. So I hope the crypto bros were watching my Bitcoin videos and paying attention. So see how that unfolds. Gold and silver down as we thought. Bonds are down a little bit, but not much. Stocks are up, dollars break even. Yeah, I think Nasdaq is going to be well supported for the day, in line with the daily forecast. And we're just looking for a little bit more of a push. Maybe you got the 1 minute here. I just use this to kind of fine tune the entry sometimes. Thought I'd put it up on my main screen so you guys can see it. But, you know, basically somewhere down around here, either take out these lows here or these lows, excuse me, something like that is kind of what we're most interested in. May or may not get it, don't know. Right now, this is kind of the length of our average pullback so far. You see, we're about 30 points from the high. But we're going against what could be a temporary resistance pattern here with OMA, so I'm not gonna rush in here. If it goes higher without me, that's fine. I got to see something a little bit lower, I think, but we'll see. I mean, it is maybe all we get. We will get our answers. Important thing is that we need to stay patient. We'll just pause it and wait for now. Right here. All right, we are dropping a little bit, which is nice. Here, just stay patient for now. We'll watch together since we're potentially getting down here where we might look to go long. I'll see. I'm quiet. It's because I'm thinking. Live trading, although it can be entertaining sometimes, that's not the primary purpose. The purpose is to follow the trading plan and make money. Light is quite bright. That's a little better right there. So you can see this is why you just got to be, we're probably getting into the zone here where I'm kind of interested. So let's see. Got that low here so far. I think this could be the spot. Looking like it definitely could be. Yeah. So I'm going to look to get long down around 360. We've got an order there, 360. So you guys can see that, 360 and a quarter. Right, we're filled long. $3.60 1/4. I want these lows to hold here now. If they don't hold, we'll have to bail pretty fast. All right, this is where all the volume's coming in, so this is where we're going to see. We're out. 255 there. That is okay. I could have cut it a little earlier there. Okay, so you can see on Rithmic we're down 255. We're just going a little bit lower here. Not worried about it, because when it does start to head back up, that is when we will pyramid heavily. This is live trading. You put on your trades, sometimes they lose. It was a good spot there. Regret that trade. Had my reasons. Definitely going to be looking to get long down here somewhere. I think that might be the low now. Just watching. Execution was at least decent there on Rithmic. That's nice. Good volume came in there, taking out that low. Kind of back close to where we originally got in. Could have held through. Just watching. Might be going for these lows down here. Wait and see. The volume's trying to press it underneath that 340 level. I hope they succeed because down there is where I'd like to get long. We got a battle going on here. Going to be looking to get long anywhere below 340 if possible. Soon I'm going to set an order there. Actually, I prefer to go in at market because it's a bummer when you have the order and then it doesn't get filled. Better to just be in. But right around 340 is what I'm looking for. May not get there. Yeah. Big divergence between the ES and the NQ now. I think the NQ can catch up pretty good. ES is up 1.13%. ES is only up 0.27%. See what happens if we can get below 340 on a big spike of volume here in the 1 minute. Comes the volume. Just a take out 340 a little. All right, we're long. 348. Long from 348. If we start to make progress to the upside, we'll obviously have to pyramid. I'll let you know when I pyramid. Keeping an eye here. All right, we've added a second one. We're long 2 now. Figure out how to move up here. That's at 47. There are our stops. Maybe at about 38 for now. Targets I'm not really worried about yet. Really somewhere up around the highs. Gotta be ready to add if it keeps pushing. Right now our targets are at 417. That's not a bad spot. You can see right now we're long 2. You can see the balance over here. Our job is just to hold and look to add. If we can get over the profit threshold for the challenge in one trade. Who knows? Never know. Right now our target is at 417, which if it got there, you'd be up $2,000. We need $3,000 for the target. Looking to add again. Pushes. Add around 380. Hope you guys are enjoying this. Keeping an eye here. Volume trying to come in. Other charts open I'm looking at. It looks like I'm focusing. That's because I am. Just kind of hanging tight for now. Yeah, at the current price level, we're basically around break even on the day, and we're currently long 2 contracts, so anything can happen. But I'm looking to try and catch a runner to the upside, add one more contract up around 380, and set the target up around 400, a little over 400, wherever we need to get to cross the challenge in one trade. Shall see. Take a quick look here. S&P is up 1.18%. Dollar's flat. Treasuries are flat. I think the NASDAQ should run here. But we will see. Little child's having a meltdown. Got a long day at preschool today. Christmas parties. Happens. So, like I said, just waiting to see if we can add on a squeeze higher. And that would be at actually 76.77 would be where we want to add. If we get up to 77, and it's an if, you never know. Gotta be patient. $11:30 a.m. Get up there. Change my here. Big punch to the downside there at 11:30. There's news that I'm aware of. Could just be stops there. Big move to the downside. Yeah. That very big move. Get some stops. It might have been. I don't know. All right, we just added our third contract. See what happens, but that just looked like a flush to go for stops, which is why we had our stop well behind that. So we're still in. Or they are going to push it lower. We'll see. A lot of volume coming in there. I'm out. We're down 1,300. I think there's a lot of support down here, but let's see. Very big to the downside. Might get back in on all. But it needs to be the right spot. Get all that volume right there. So something that was interesting. Good for you guys to see. So we're down 1,300. Room left in our draw. We'll see. Looking good there for a while. think there could be a lot. Spot 1, 2. Long 2 currently. Soon add a third if we can close back above those lows at around 45 on the 1 minute. Kind of where the support needs to come in if there's going to be any. That level, but we'd like it to get a close up above 45. Decent volume. Long 3 now. It's higher, we will add more. All right, we're long 4. As you can see, if we hit 16,400, that would be passing the challenge. Let's see what happens. Even with that, pretty big drawdown there, but give it a chance. We're back to break even now. This is where you say, oh, well, let's just get out and be break even on the day. No, because it looks now like we could head back up to those highs. Have to hold. We can clear those highs there. 73, that would be nice. All right, we're big selling again right in this general area, you can see. Kind of the area where that selling came in last time. Or entry. There is a lot of selling coming in. Don't want to be shaken out if we can help it. I'd like to see some buyers coming in here. Very volatile so far today. That critical level there, 360. A lot of selling's been. Certainly is a battle. Somebody's going to win it. Don't know who. Somebody's sitting on absorbing a lot there at 360. So be nice to get up and through. See, every time we get up there, get pushed back down. See if we can get through there. We can get up and through this general area. Boards could cover and we could squeeze, but right now it's looking iffy. Big sell order come in there. Buying absorbed it that time. This is that general area where all that big selling came in right back here. Up and through this area to have any hope. You can see big selling coming in every time at 360 right. I mean, we can't get through it. Does mean if we get up and through it, we could see a good squeeze, but may not get up and through it. S&P's up over 1%. Bonds are down a little, so yields are up a little, so the Nasdaq's a little sensitive to that. Dollar's flat. If the S&P can hang on above 1%, the Nasdaq could catch up. Let's see. That or the S&P will catch down. Rhythmic's been pretty stable so far, better than Quant Tower. That's interesting. See, every time it hits 60, it's getting smacked down. Wrestling with that 60 area again. Big sell orders coming in again at 60. Defining that level right there. Hopefully we can get up and through. we really want to see if we can clear these highs here at 74. That's going to happen, but oh, there we go. Go. Key level right there. Going. The highs we got. Trying. Feeling if we can break those highs at 74 and see a pretty good follow through to the upside potentially. Holding for now. Check in on the S&P. 1.2%. Testing that 70 to 74 level again. Wild one. Get up and through those highs. Get her to squeeze up through. See, I don't know. Just watching. These up 1.2. Coming in there. Little break of those highs on some volume and squeeze back up to 16.4 would be nice. Good squeeze. Tried. We need 15403. I don't like that that failed there. Out. 110 on the day. Pause here for a moment. All right. May head higher. Re-entering here based on the way that closed. 4. And we're looking for a move back up. About 16.4-ish. Basically just reopened the position that I closed. And the reason I did that is because I could see how that sucked back up right there. It looked like it was fishing out some stops. That's why I re-entered. You can get a squeeze up and through 16.4 and that's the challenge. Where the shorts could get squeezed. Especially if the S&P can put on some gains, up 1.22. Key level here. What happens, but especially with all that volume there, trying to hold it down, hopefully they'll all be forced to cover and drive this thing higher. Like, in the big squeeze yet. Acceleration and through or target us. Trying to get a squeeze up there. We'll book that. I think it's going to go higher, but up 1365. And now if we just wait for a little bit of a pullback, we get some more out of it. You see on some days, one of those days we're looking pretty choppy, so we may want to come back and revisit that 374 level. That's where I'd like to re-enter. Basically down there as well, where I'm looking to put on a couple of contracts. 380. Being on one, just in case it doesn't pull back. Pulls back, we'll add that. Excuse. Got one on from 390, just looking to add second down around 80, and if it goes lower, I would just add a little. I do think we're going to want to push toward 16.4. ES is up 1.23%. Dollar's flat. Rates are a little higher, but nothing crazy. So I like the long bias here. Sweden, very cold. Hope you guys are enjoying the live video. This is how find a good trade and do your best to, let it run, add, and manage it accordingly. Really need restroom. Ended. I'll pause and muted. I'm going to use the restroom, but I'll leave it recording so you can see what's going on. See if the other one down at 80 gets The restroom. Still just long one here. I think this could go quite a bit higher, so still I'm just managing that position. Took some profits, but still looking to see this thing squeeze past this challenge in basically one trade, but just managing the trade. So we're looking to add our second one back down at 80 now. You can see it right there. Trying to get down. Just missed us by a tick or two. Still got it there. We'll see. Pretty good volume there. I think it's like to save my ammo just in case it pulls back a little bit more than you think, you know? If we can get filled on the second one at 80, and then if it fills back, if it drops back to 60, I would just go more and be long 4 again. That's 12:17. I'd be done by now, but at a very late start. Not bad. We started about an hour ago. Recording an hour and 15 minutes. Right now up about $1,300, but we'll see. S&P's holding on. Bonds are recovering a little bit. Dollars looking too bad. The NASDAQ should keep squeezing, but the game plan, trying to trade it. Second position filled at 80. Trying. And am I being a dick for a tick here? Get in at market since we're so close. Leave it. Yeah, it was one tick. Added a second one there. Bring this one lower. We go down 70. I'll buy 2 down. Right now we're long 2. Trying to figure out rhythmic. Oh, I see. That's that one. These are the two we're actually in on. Those two needed to go to about 16,430. Is just through the high. S&P is extending. And I don't mind that I lightened up a little bit right there, because sometimes you can see a little bit of a pullback and I want to have a little, protect a little profit and have a little bit of ammo to get back in lower if that was the case. We can get through 16.4, you know, we could see a pretty good quick squeeze taking out some stops. Let's see. All right. We can go stop hunting. Kind of see that it wants to check out above 16.4. All right. I'll lock that in for now. We're up 16.55. Doing all right. Still think we're pushing higher. We'd be up considerably more, closer to passing the challenge had we just not kind of had to deal with all of this here. The original idea to go long around here was good. I think it was here. And that just, was a bit unfortunate. So you got to deal with. And then since then, we've taken a nice chunk out of this. And we're not done yet. Certainly if we get back below 80, we'll go long 2 more there. So set the orders, you never know. I have a feeling it's going to get a pullback. You can see the Owings market analysis pattern was beauty right into this pocket. Why I was so confident in this trade. I just didn't know how deep it would go into the pocket, so I went a little deeper than I thought to begin with, but overall still a good trade. I filled a couple of contracts at 80 in for the push back to 400, 410. That would get us closer. S&P's up 1.2. Pull back even a little. I'll do 76 and a quarter. So far, so good with Rhythmic, though. $400. I think it'll take. So I've already gotten, a nice chunk of this move. And it's been, for the NASDAQ, it's been pretty choppy, right? Lots and lots of chop within this overall trend up. So I think we've done pretty well in terms of what we got out of it. I'm just managing it how I would manage my own trades. So thinking about the fact that, had we held, we would have been very close to passing the challenge right now for contracts. I was just looking at this from the standpoint of, all right, well, we're in some resistance now. After that rough start there, I feel like we made good on that trade overall. Without taking that grand loss, we would be, right now at like $2,500 anyway, so 500 away from the goal. No bragging rights. I don't pass it in one trade. Who knows? No guarantees to pass it. But I am having fun looking at this company's fills. It looks a little better than the other company's fills, but I'm not sure if it's because of Quant Tower. The other company I was doing through Quant Tower. This one I'm just doing only Rhythmic, and Rhythmic so far seems a lot better. Maybe the other company, had I just run theirs through Rhythmic, maybe that's the problem for all of you having problems on your challenges with the data. Maybe just don't use NinjaTrader or Quant Tower or whatever else. Just use Rhythmic directly, and you've got the DOM where the data is coming from. Could be an idea. I figured out why I'm so cold, by the way, because I had a big latte after the gym in the afternoon. Then I had some coffee at my daughter's Christmas recital. And, when you drink a lot of coffee, it constricts the blood vessels, so you can get a little bit chilly. So I'm sitting here like freezing inside, heat's on, it's warm. Coffee. Now it's just a matter of, patiently waiting for the next setup. I've taken what I can take out of this setup. Maybe running for these highs at what it looks like it right. Go ahead and just flatten our order so I don't. Your clock trails Rithmic clock by 0.495 seconds. Right click to sync. Yeah. Sync right. Cause all kinds of problems. Take a little break here. I'm gonna have dinner. Wait for the next setup. See, this is what I like to do too. You know, it's not like I think a lot of people, and what I noticed is because I used to do this is we've had a nice trade. It was took some out of it, and now it's like watching and waiting and see if it's going to go higher. And we could have been no. Now you got to just turn your focus to the next trade. Right, it's one good trade or one good decision, not necessarily having to be a winner, but just one good trading decision after another, and just go to the next one. We're coming up on this close right here, right? This 40,000 volume chart, we're in about 7,000 contracts, and I think we're probably going to push higher, but there might be some resistance up here that drives us back lower. You never know. Now, what I do know is that I'm not going to short this up. If it does pull back, it would just give us another opportunity, in my view, to get long again, what I'd like to do. Higher, without me, not really concerned with that. I need a good spot to re-long. I like to long out of support. Just came out of a lot of support down here, like I called at 1650, which is why we took a good chunk out of that, right? So that's what those are the types of trades I'm waiting for. And if you stay patient, they come to you. Sometimes you get multiple per day. Sometimes you get one, sometimes you get none. You gotta stay patient. Let those trades come to you. It's really important. We've still, with all that said, we've still got 7,000 contracts left here, and I do think this bar is going to close up here. So if we got a snap pullback down to 80, I might re-enter 2 contracts down there. Sure, you've got a lot of broken resistance that should now be support down there. So if we got a pullback down to 80, I might re-long 2 contracts for a retest of 400 or higher. So we should pause it for now. All right, everybody, had a nice break, had a little dinner. It is 1:10 p.m. Eastern time, still patiently waiting. You can see the market actually ended up pushing higher, so would have passed the challenge had we just held on to those contracts. And of course, I look back at myself and my decisions and go, okay, did I make a quote unquote mistake there? No, I traded what I saw in the moment, and sometimes when you take those contracts off, it's a good decision, quote unquote. The result is good because the market will pull back and you get a better entry. In this particular case, the reason that I pulled my trades off where I did is because we were up into resistance, and on the daily over here, you can see on the scoreboard to the right, ES has given back a pretty good amount here, and the 10-year and the 30-year have been unable to rally as of yet. So you can see, especially if we look at the ultra bonds here, ultra bonds are trying to break below their lows. So it's a little bit of a fear trade right now with the 10-year, the 30-year, and the ultras. You have to forgive me, I'm a little tired here. They're all dropping, rates are rising, and the dollar is not as strong as I anticipated. Gold and silver are selling off pretty good. There's a little bit of a fear trade here, which just told me that I was better off booking my profits and kind of reassessing today. And that's what I did. And I play the probabilities. So most days when I trade according to what I'm seeing on the overall scoreboard in terms of what the market is doing as a whole, I'm able to structure my trades much better. For example, if I see a day where it's risk on across the board, I'm much more willing to sit through pullbacks and let my trade run. Whereas a day like today, when it's relatively risk off, to be honest, except for stocks, had a nice little run out of that NASDAQ long. I saw what was going on the scoreboard. I thought, it's a good place to take profit here, right? Rather than hold on and hope for the squeeze. Now, in this case, it ended up squeezing higher. But again, I had my reasons for taking it off. So that's how you manage trades, and nothing's perfect. You just have to come up with a system that works for you, and then follow that system to the best of your ability and be consistent with it. That's the key. That's fun to explain to you guys why I pulled that off. And again, this is just kind of fun testing out, this challenge company versus the one that I passed 2 weeks ago. I can't remember. And as I said, the fills on that last company were a little bit shaky, but it could have been because of Quantower. I don't know. On this one, the fills so far in Rhythmic, they're good. And yeah, I'm having fun testing these just because I want to see what the fuss is all about and see if it really is similar to a live trading environment, which so far it appears to be on this particular challenge anyway, with Rhythmic as the execution dom. So we'll see. All right, well, it's 1:10 p.m. as I mentioned, 1:15 now, and I'm not interested in chasing this market higher. At the same time, I'm really not interested in shorting this market. See the ES. Earlier, I think my scoreboard might have said that ES was up 1% and that NASDAQ would catch up. That actually wasn't true. It was up. There was an error on the scoreboard. So ES was only ever up, 0.25%, right? So NASDAQ's kind of leading the charge higher today. So I'm thankful I checked the chart for ES and saw that. That's an important distinction. If ES is up, a percent versus 0.25%, that's a big difference, right? So it's not really pushing as hard to the upside as I thought it was when my scoreboard was wrong. Or maybe the scoreboard was fine. I'll recheck it in the video. Maybe it's just me that's tired, but I saw 1% there, 1.25%. Maybe I saw what I wanted to see. I don't know. Anyways, sometimes we get tired and see things differently than they're portrayed. All right, so yeah, you can see just quickly here with the pound. I thought the pound would, push higher the rest of the day, and the dollar is regaining some strength so far. The euro I thought would push a little higher, but what you can see, so now we don't know what's going to happen heading into the end of the day, but right now, I'm trading the market that's in front of me right now, and at this exact moment, you can see, as bonds here, especially the 30-year and the ultra are they're trying to get through those lows while the dollar is looking to, regain its strength against the euro, the pound, the yen. This is a big one, right? We called this reversal up in here. Bitcoin getting absolutely smoked. As I said, it would, and I hope you guys listened. So yeah, go check out the Bitcoin report. You'll see I pretty much said this was going to happen because of what's going on in gold. Gold continues to leak lower, and you don't want to go long Bitcoin when gold is selling off like that. So that was that. Right. So my whole point here is with Bitcoin down 8%, dollar getting stronger, bonds selling off, and rates continuing to kind of edge higher. It's a bit of a risk off day, except for stocks. So we'll see where the NASDAQ ends up closing. It's hard to tell. I certainly don't want to short. That was the point I was going to make. Because as of this exact moment, if we look at the daily and the weekly charts here on the NASDAQ, as of this exact moment, we're still, kind of bullish and pushing higher per the pre-market forecast, which was correct today. But pushing higher in the face of everything else being risk off doesn't necessarily make me confident chasing longs late in the day either. So it's kind of one of these situations where you've got cross currents, right? You've got risk on only in stocks that are pushing higher according to their technical is what I'm seeing on the charts here with OMA. But then you got everything else risk off, right? So with these cross currents, this is where you got to be careful. This is where you can really get sucker punched in the face. And as Mike Tyson says, everybody's got a plan until he's punched in the face. So you can see the markets are more likely to punch you in the face. It's a good idea just to stop, book your profits, and call it a day. So that's what I'm going to do. Finished up 16, well, after commissions, I finished up 1655 on the account, 1,655. So halfway to the target, basically. And my commissions were $55. I'm up $15.99 net of commission. That's fine. That's all right. So that's that. And other than that, hope you guys had a good day. I'm gonna continue to watch this and just see, if anything good sets up. But I think it's just what I'm seeing on the scoreboard. It's like, hey, walk away. Not a good day to push it. You're getting cross currents here, and that's the advantage of experience. When you start to see those cross currents, you just hold up shop, go home, call it a day. So I'm going to go have my cigar, relax. Like I said, I'm going to keep an eye on the markets, but I'm not going to trade anymore. And back at it tomorrow. See if we can't pass this challenge in 2 days. I was kind of hoping to pass it today. in one day, in one trade actually. You can always get what you want. But I wanted to show you guys how I use my pre-market analysis. Wait for the trade to set up, trade it. So I think this was a good display of that. And yeah, I mean, I might have rushed the gun. I might have jumped the gun, not rushed the gun. Might have jumped the gun a little bit here, which is where we got in originally. And then, but then as it went lower, I think we added down here. That was a great add. We saw that low being taken out. It kind of snuck back in there on bigger volume. That was a good spot to get back in, or add the position, right? And then we were up all right here. It was kind of, see, I was looking for one of these, like, you know, B reversals. Those are the easiest ones. And they come a lot, you know, if you're patient for them on a market like the NASDAQ. And if you can get one of those, and that's why I was pyramiding so heavily, because it'll just keep going. And had that just happened, it would have been, boom, past the challenge quickly. But then this kind of, you know, tested us. But we sat through that. I think that was managed well. Can't really see that coming. You know, all that volume just came in just at 11:30, just boom. And they went for those stops. And I took I think we were down at that point. I'll have to watch the video, maybe 1300 or something. I'm not really sure. And then, you know, the fact that I could still see the OMA pattern over here was strong support for the buy. We still had, you know, everything looking decent to go long there. So that's why I went ahead and re-entered that. And then, you know, kind of just, I think it's grinding like this, even though we're squeezing higher slowly. It's not like that typical NASDAQ move where you get these 20-point bursts, consolidation, 20-point burst. This was just kind of messy. But with all that said, you know, we did pretty well. I think being down 1,300 there and then, you know, finishing up the day, whatever, 1,600 net of fees. So basically like a $2,800 turnaround from the lows, and just having the foresight to, you know that we had a good long here, get back in and go for it. So happy about that. We'll see how tomorrow goes. I will let you guys know, and if I'm in the mood, I will film it. And yeah, even if I pass this challenge, I'm not gonna take the funded account. But anyways, kind of fun to do. All right, take care, everybody. See ya. Bye bye.